you know, boat quad or something like that. Hey, whoa now, whoa.
So what do you do your stuff for, Stevie?
Huh?
Like, what does this go to?
For ourselves.
That's a good place to start.
I mean, did you do it? You submit it to someone, or?
What are we gonna do? Well, we're gonna.
This?
Yeah, because one time we'll probably, if we get a lot of good little short stories, we might probably submit it to a festival or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. This is probably just going to be more used like to go on a YouTube channel so people can kind of understand that we're discussing like the history of the area, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is a pretty big history of the area. A lot of people I know are involved
Yeah,
in
Western
this.
Fair opened in the early 50s, I think.
Yeah. Oh, the track?
Yeah.
The 1850s?
No,
1950s? I remember they did stuff there like
Yeah.
in the early 1900s too.
Yeah, but not.
Not sure. They used to run the
The
horses right on
night
top.
racing started in the late 50s.
Did Buck hang out? You see Buck? You know, I don't remember Dan Mendel?
Oh yeah, I know. I see
Huge.
him at the races.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore.
He died.
That'll be why.
That's a tough get to, you know?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What, Mendon?
Yeah, you used to see him a lot of it.
That's his Uncle Buck.
Oh, okay.
His name's Dan.
Yeah, he enjoyed the races, eh?
Yeah, he did.
I keep cursing the London majors for not having some local guys on the team.
Isn't that bad, eh?
Yeah. Like, you know, spend all those years in the junior
Is he
ball,
anxious
you'd
right
like
now?
to see some of the guys
Huh?
play.
Is he anxious right
Well,
now?
what he likes to do is he likes to go out for walks, and he's kind of spoiled. So what he's doing right now, he's pining for a walk. You see how he's looking out there?
Yeah.
He was-
But he's like big enough to just destroy those chains.
Yeah, well, he could. You know, and here's the thing, man. He doesn't know what he's going to do when he gets loose. You know, and like the other guys, they have a desire to get loose. He's kind of happy where he is.
Yeah.
You know, he don't think he'd know he wouldn't make it in the hood out there.
Yeah.
So, do you want to take it for a walk and eat some grass?
Yeah. Should I use that lunge line?
No, just put the chain on. But to me, like, I try to see a lot of people don't put an emphasis on this, but keep the horses happy and keep them in a good mind frame, and you know what I mean. Some people don't worry about that. Me, I think that obviously you want to feel good to perform your best.
Yeah. I tell you though, I always do get nervous when I get right behind the horse.
Yeah.
Because the kick could come
Well, I
so
got
quickly.
kicked there, right there. And that was about 2 weeks ago, and it kicked me. And I was laying on the floor, like, just, and it's all dirty, but I had no shirt on because it was hot out. Whack! I went, ah! And I went down, and I'm like, ah! And everyone comes like, what the heck? You know what I mean? I think I'm done. I think my knee's toast. And the horse didn't even have a shoe on. Usually they got metal shoes on.
Thank God
It
it
was
didn't
this
have
one
a
right
shoe
here,
on.
and she's a bitch.
Okay, so what happened to the other guy that used to be in here?
He's gone.
He's gone,
He
eh?
went to a Mennonite.
Oh, did he, eh?
Yeah.
Poor guy, eh?
Yeah. I don't know how the Mennonites treat them, but
Yeah, I know, not as well
I'm
as
sure.
I'm sure.
I'm sure it'll be interesting. He might be on the show Breaking Amish. I don't know.
Poor guy. He was such a nice guy.
Yeah, he was. Now this one here, she's a horse I bought from a guy in the industry. Kind of an annoying guy.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I am recording now.
Okay. For $2,500, and she's out of a Artistic Fella, which is a horse that used to race. It seems like some of them have had some good promise, so that's kind of the premise why I got this one.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the best attitude.
She doesn't like racing.
Well, I'm not real sure. She doesn't know yet either because she's
How old
young.
is she?
She's 2.
Yeah.
But she does have a lot of natural ability, and that's why I bought her off the start. Because the guy brought her to me and just said, try her for 2 weeks, and if you want to buy her, buy her. And then I didn't know her attitude was as bad as it is, but you know, hopefully that's something we can change
Through love.
through love and through
Do you think she was-
keeping her in situations where she can
Win.
well, not win, but when you're training down, you want to keep their confidence up. You can't make them do something they can't do,
Yeah.
because then they start looking at you like, you know, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
But if you keep them and keep them having fun, and hopefully they keep improving, you never know where they can end up if they keep improving.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't
And
want
they don't know either. That's
Yeah.
kind of your job to make sure that they're as
Yeah.
confident as
like
they
like
can
my dad said earlier, like you're looking for horses that want to compete, like
Yeah.
any athlete,
be. Yeah.
because you look at a lot of people's makeup, and they don't want to compete at all. They just want to, you know, just go through life and work, and they're not
Yeah.
athletes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of these horses are obviously put into this,
Yeah.
and then you have to find out if they're an athlete type, a competitor, one that wants to be out there, or one that just doesn't want to race.
Yeah.
Now the things that happen to the horses that don't want to race.
Glue.
No, well, maybe a lot. Like I don't know. Like me, I've never done that intentionally.
Yeah.
I've always given them to like the ones that I really have done well with. I would never do that to.
Yeah.
I'd find that they had a good home and someone to look after them, or maybe a riding. A lot of the time, it's common for them to become riding horses.
Right.
But sometimes you'll send them to the Amish, and they'll become like buggy horses, like
Yeah.
you'd see going down the street. Or sometimes the next guy would maybe do that to them,
Oh, that's a
glue
shame.
or whatnot. And so that's the thing. You don't know.
They really do the glue?
Well, I
Even
don't
now?
know exactly. Like I said, I try not to find out
Yeah.
because I do become attached to them. Obviously,
Yeah.
I just you don't ask.
Yeah.
You know, you give them to a certain guy, and they'll give you. Actually, the Amish pay really well for them.
Do they?
Yeah.
How long do you normally have the horses for?
Well, for example, that's a good question. Sometimes you'll claim them, like out of a race. Like we had a horse last year. The horse's name was Saint Lad Supersonic. So we claimed it for 6,000, and he win that day. So the next week we put it right back in for 6,000, and he finished third. So for that race we got $800. But the people we claimed him off claimed him back.
So they take the
So
horse
they took the horse
back.
back. We had him 1 week. We
So,
made $800.
Is it like, do they force you to sell the horse if somebody
If you
puts
put them in that certain race, if you put them in a race with the price tag on their head, and sometimes you have to do that
Why?
because they're just not good enough to compete in the other races. But a lot of the classes are wrote like non-winners of 5,000. So when you're out of that, you go to non-winners of 15,000. When you're out of that, you go to non-winners of 60,000. After you're done that, if you're not a preferred type horse, you're a claimer. That's just the way it is. You know what I mean? So, for example, Time Out Colossus, the horse that's out for a walk, the one that really is our best horse,
Yeah.
I bought him as a baby. And we paid $30,000 for him, and we've never had him in a claimer because we wouldn't want to lose him.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can choose
We
whether.
choose that, but see, he's made money. He's made, I think, almost $200,000 back for us. But the thing is if you're not good enough to race in the preferreds, you have to.
Eventually.
And you
we
always
put on
want to enter
claimers.
the horses where when you look at the odds, you're one of the top 3 or 4 favorites. Because if you're not doing your job, Stevie.
Yeah.
If you think about it, because you're not giving your horse a chance.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that. That's a big problem with people. As me as a driver, I'll find people overestimate their horse's
ability.
skills.
Yeah.
Because he's Little John. He's a good horse. Well, he ain't that good.
They get attached
Yeah.
to the horse as a
Because
horse and
someone
not as a
will claim
competitor.
someone- I have a horse. Well, I shouldn't. I guess. Anyways, a horse. Like,
Well, everyone can have one.
No. I'm just saying that someone that I drive for. I don't know if they'd ever watch this, but I'm not going to say the name. But the horse isn't that good, and it's not that good. And he keeps putting it in non-winners of 15,000 life, which goes say 158. While the other race is a 6 claimer for non-winners of 15,000 life, it goes in 2-1. The purse is only say $5,000 instead of $8,000, but he finishes last in the other one every week. You see what I'm saying?
And it
So I,
kills his
I
confidence.
said, kill just. I said, put it in the other race. Do you see what I'm saying? And then win. But they don't want to do that because
So they
he'll
don't
get
make
claimed.
it.
Well, the horse won't get claimed in 100 years.
Not if it's lost so many times that the one above.
Because the people who claim it know something about horses.
Right. What's going on? We're doing an interview here.
Interview.
See, I'm on camera here, and we're doing an interview.
All right.
So you just walked right through it.
Sorry, I just ruined
It's
our
all
shot.
it's
You ruined our shot.
You know
son
what?
of
We're
a-
gonna have to stop making the whole movie now.
No, we're just.
Don't,
No, don't worry about it at all.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys can edit.
Yeah.
Unless you want to get in on this, Bialy. You're actually more of a TV star than I am.
Yeah. So.
So I'll get one of these babies out here and
All right.
take a look at one of them. This horse here, actually, we attended a yearling sale 2 weeks ago at Flamborough, and you go and it's like it's an auction. So you go and you see. First of all, you do your homework through videos of the horses that you've seen and looking through their past breeding and who their siblings are and stuff. So this horse here has a brother, a full brother, same mother as the father, because a lot of times it'll be half brothers.
Yeah.
But it's Zorjvik Jock. And that's the farm, Zorjvik Farms. But my good horse Colossus, he races against him a lot and has a tough time beating him. So this horse here kind of caught our eye. And we got him 2 weeks. He's only been in training for 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
But he's doing really, really good so far. But I like his potential. This guy's got a good disposition about doing the work and stuff. So that's one of the first things. And he seems to have some brains, so that's good.
So, like, how far back does this sport around this area go?
Well, like my dad said earlier, at Western Fair the races have started like 1950. I think there was a thing, we had an anniversary the other day for 60 years harness racing at Western Fair. But I know
It might come to an end.
which might come to an end. But
Yeah.
the thing is, I don't think it's gonna, Stevie.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna. And you're gonna get guys like us that are saying that. So I probably made $220 yesterday
Right.
just for driving.
Yeah. For fun.
But and then you'll go to the grandstand after, and you'll have people that, hey, well, you know, they'll buy you beers and
Yeah,
whatever. If you're a
yeah.
minor celebrity
Yeah.
to them.
You're right.
Meanwhile, like me and you don't think much of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
You know, I'd rather meet a baseball player.
Yeah.
These guys would rather meet a guy that drives horses because that's their favorite
That's your
sport.
thing. Yeah, the thing is, especially when you go to the track there, it's just so many people that. Well, people go there and gamble, obviously.
Yeah.
But so many people just love horses.
Yeah, and they like the sport.
Like my kids, they were like they kept. Emmett kept making a joke about Usain Bolt would be racing in the next one.
Yeah, right.
Kept saying that, but he just loved to watch the horses run and stuff.
Yeah, well, look, a lot of people put a lot of effort into it, obviously, and you know, like the race is only 2 minutes of it.
Yeah.
This is really
Yes, exactly. There's a lot of work.
The
It's
work
just like
prayer.
baseball.
Yeah.
Your at bat lasts a minute
Yeah.
at most.
And the thing is, and that's the thing, like anything can go wrong in that bat that ruins all that previous work.
Exactly, and your swing is less than a second long.
Yeah.
And all the work that, like, when you hit a ball, see if you get jammed and you hit a ground ball, and you off a pitcher that you know
Yeah.
that you're better than.
Yeah.
It's so disappointing because your whole life has been
Yeah.
geared around working about your swing. You know, I don't swing at that pitch. This is the pitch I
And
hit.
one thing in this sport that's really tough too is just like baseball is when you do something you weren't happy with and you keep replaying it in your mind. Really the biggest thing, even just like, you know, that is you gotta kind of put it past you and try to think about the next one. But that's a problem I have in this as a driver.
Well, you have to have a bad memory, eh?
But yeah,
It's just like baseball.
Because
It's like
you
a
get a lot of
reliever
pressure.
almost. Like a reliever.
There's a lot of pressure too, so the fact of, you know, people do put all that time and effort and money into it. Maybe they need the money. And another thing is the driver is a scapegoat.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, like for example, say if Stevie owns this horse, right, and I'm driving it, you're training it. Stevie's paying you as a trainer, so for you to keep your ass off the line, you'll say, well, you know, Scotty give the horse a bad drive, so Stevie he gets mad at me, but you're still getting your money for training.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. People come up, people who bet on you, yelling over the fence at you, like,
Yeah.
what the heck were you doing, or
Yeah.
whatever. So.
You're the human to blame in the scenario.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and like people, a lot of times that they'll bet the horses, they're just, you know, they're paying money so they can criticize a guy, and you're the guy,
Yeah.
you know,
But if you win, you're the hero.
you're a hero. But the thing is, a lot of the times, like I think as a driver, to be fair to the crowds and the people that bet, is I try to be consistent with a consistent
Like, what do you say?
A consistent.
Like,
well, I'm
explain
saying that the
explain what you
I
mean.
could
Like,
say the guy could handicap me. He knows, for example, like the other day when you see me race that one horse that was overclassified,
yeah.
and you asked me why the horse was locked in and boxed in and I had nowhere to go. Well, that was kind of by design.
Right.
But if I would have found a seam, I would have
Explain
through it.
by design.
Well, just the horse was lacking confidence then, and he needed a nice start where he got his confidence back up and felt like he could beat people. Now, I never left the rail and I got boxed in, but the class thing, the preferreds, the race secretary Ian Fleming, he'll put them together what he thinks. He thinks this one's a preferred 2, preferred 1, preferred 3. So by me having that bad effort, technically, which it wasn't a bad effort, he'll put it back in the preferred 3s.
Yeah.
And I had a bad post position. I had the 6. So maybe I'll get the 2, 1, 2, 3 horse,
But then
and
you
this
can let
horse
him
can
fly.
win. But see, though, and the thing is, the better hopefully will know that I won't just be a wild man and try to win, you know.
Win every
but if I
time.
have an inside post, I'm going to be a very big contender.
Yeah.
That's what I try to think as a. Now the thing is, because I used to be a gambler, I did not like when drivers did things that didn't make any sense.
Right.
Now that's gonna happen sometimes, obviously. And whatever, it's gonna happen.
That's just
But
like.
you want to be as consistent to not let that happen as you can.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the big thing is confidence. Like when you're doing well and the horses are racing well, you expect that it's going to continue. Just like hitting, like you say, everything's going in. You're finding holes, and you're looking at it. It looks like there's about 5 outfielders. When you're in a bat, you go, man, I don't got a hole. Well,
Yeah.
that's the way it feels with horses too. And the horse gets that feeling probably as well, Stevie.
Yeah.
Because when they race good for a period of time.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, a lot of So I'm gonna just touch upon the slots
Okay.
and the OLG a little bit right now.
Yeah.
So basically, what happens now is that the slot machines are in all of the places where the horses race,
Right.
and 20% of that goes back to you guys, or it goes to
So,
the owner
put
of
this guy
the.
back in for me, buddy.
20% of that goes to the owner.
Well,
of
what the way it was
stadium.
working it was 75%
Goes to the government.
goes to the government
Yeah.
Of the win.
of
No.
of the whole
Of slots. How much money
Oh,
they make
yeah,
for the whole day.
of the slot.
Like it's like that 80% is like 380 million dollars.
all through all racetracks in Ontario.
Yeah.
$380 million. What and then through the money, so that and this is
Or no,
this
is it
for-
no 380 million is how much you guys get
Yeah, well-
out of it. And
Well,
then
this is how it worked actually, Stevie. Is we'll just do one entity like London.
okay,
Okay,
yeah,
we want to do all of Ontario, but you're
But-
right. $380 million were given to the horse racing industry.
right,
That is the people who, and that is 12% people who run the tracks. Now that was a problem, I think, with the government. They did not like that track owners were getting that much.
yeah,
But 12, how'd it go? 10% was to them. 10% was to the horsemen like us. Purse money to fund everyone's job.
right,
Give a Joey a job, or say the people outlying industries that affect racing. Obviously, with
like the harness makers.
Yeah.
So that was 10. That was 10%. The other 2.5% went to the municipality, and the other 2% went to the track itself. Now a lot of that money was never turned up either.
No,
And some
it
of these
didn't.
some of these facilities you go to that
Pretty
you
wore
know,
out.
Yeah, they're pretty wore out. There hasn't been nothing new done to them. Now, how it's affected us, I don't know. I don't know. Like, for example,
Well, let me backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
So, just for a little background, like 10 years ago, the Ontario government signed an agreement with racing,
yes,
with the racers, that they would put slot machines into all of the facilities where
Right.
they race.
Right.
And then with that agreement, it's supposed to be like 20% would stay with them and government would get 80% of the money
Of the slots.
Yes.
of the slots.
right.
Now, and that
Now
20%
that
from the
was
slots
for
would go back.
6 years, and the government just cut that off.
They cut it off before
The
the
10
10
years,
year,
yeah.
the 10 years was done.
Yeah.
Citing that they're going to be changing the formula for,
On the report that was, I can't remember. I think the Drummond report,
it's like,
and
yeah, well, they were going to change the accounting practices.
yeah.
So the accounting practice made the previous agreement null and void, and so the government is taking the slots out and putting them in different urban areas.
Yeah, and they're gonna keep them in the casinos and whatnot. And a couple of the places they've kept the slots there, and they just don't give us nothing.
Yes.
They've kept the slots there, like Woodstock. They've kept the slots. Dresden, all these places, like Hiawatha and Sarnia, they took the slots right out.
Yeah.
And because there's a
So like
there's a
who's
casino.
doing this? OLG is doing this?
OLG is doing this, and Paul Godfrey and Larry Tannenbaum.
And
What happened
And
was
is
they
it just
bought-
about greed though? They
Yeah.
want to just take all the money?
It's a
what they're
municipal-
doing
it's
is they're
Ontario
putting these
government,
other
yeah.
slot machines in bingo, and this hasn't happened yet because someone's kind of slowed this down. But they were putting them in bingo halls, and they were only going to get 50% of the money, and the bingo halls are going to get 50% of the money. Well, who owned the bingo halls? Paul Godfrey and Larry Tannenbaum. It was insider trade. Like I'm thinking,
Yeah, it was an
obviously this has
inside
never
job.
been proved, but it's pretty much for sure. So.
Widely believed.
So the greed of
So
the
now
government wanting
Godfrey,
the
he
extra.
stepped down, and these guys have stepped down because you know how usually in government when something's going to happen to you,
You get
you
out of
just,
town.
you just step down and get your
Get the hell out of
Leave
Dodge.
right
get your
away.
money back from your settlement. You know how they get to settle
Yeah.
with you. So Godfrey, he just made it quick, cool, whatever. And we've all now been in jobs in turmoil. Now, what has happened is a lot of people that used to employ people, like stables like this, there's a lot of employment around. Obviously, of people that usually aren't educated as well, tough people to employ. And this industry employs them people. Now, a lot of people have had to cut back and do the work themselves, for sure, Stevie.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
so a lot of people have lost jobs like that. There's been jobs lost because, like, for example, the money that I make as a driver is pretty much cut in half. Because these tracks that are done, all the people that drive at them tracks come to London now. So now instead of like before there was say 16 drivers to choose from, now there's 46.
Yeah, exactly.
So instead of getting 5 to 6 drives a night, you get 2. And then the purses have gone from say 8,000, 6,000 to 3,000. And our pay has our percentages haven't increased. The driver gets 5% of what the horse earns. That's the way you get paid.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, for example, like a guy I drove one here for yesterday, the horse finished 4, so I got to say $36. He just gave me $20 right now, and thank you very much. So
Yeah.
some of your money comes that way too.
Yeah.
But I think maybe, hopefully, this government thing, the industry will rebound and almost. I know, you know.
Did the horse racing industry like support itself before OLG got involved?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing
But
was,
how long has
That's a
OLG
good.
and
I don't know how people could almost do it. But see, here's the thing that's
People
changed.
used to
and
go
you're
to
right.
Well, people used to go to horse racing as an event, but
Yeah.
people don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like just
But see,
me taking the kids
think of the government, for example, and this isn't this whatever how this works, but you get Pro Line. Okay, so now you're betting Pro Line, so you can stay at home and watch Pro Line, or you can bet online, or you can just so people don't want to go to races, and you can't go to the races and drink beer, 10 beers, and then drive home. 'Cause ride programs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now that the racetracks are charging you $4.75 a beer, well, people don't want to go to that.
Yeah.
And that's where we have to, as an industry, start thinking about making it an event again. To go.
Exactly. It has to be an event.
But see, the
Like,
thing
I'll-
is, it'll just change.
You know what really irks me about the whole situation is that the government was giving 20% of it away of the money they want,
Yeah.
and now they just want
50%. Well, that's the thing, though. These
They-
deals are going to make with the bingo halls. They're getting 50%,
yeah,
not at 75.
yeah. So
So where's that? You see what I'm saying?
Where's the logic?
And the next thing is a lot of the money that was raised from the program they had before, the 12.5% that, or sorry, 10% that went to, or sorry, the 5% that goes to the city.
yeah,
What was built from that? Hopefully, you know, there was some good like community programs or parks or
You'd
something
hope,
built
but-
from that money. Now
How many horses do you have here that race?
there's 6 here. And,
In the whole farm?
No, here on this farm, for example, since this announcement was made, there's probably 200 stalls here, and there was probably 140 horses. Now after this, the last 2 years, I bet you there's not as many. 40.
45 tops.
45 horses. Yeah. And a lot of people have slowed down. So that's the thing. That's where you start. Now, does that, in the long run, help guys like us?
Does it-
Because now the horses, like we went to this horse sale the other day, we got 3 of them for $10,000, which you never would have got 3 years ago.
yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
By thinning
But
the
people are trying
field
to
By
is a
get out.
big-
spinning it like that, and that's the way we're hoping it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing: if that doesn't help the 140 horses that are gone from this place now than there was, or it don't help the 30 jobs that were here before that aren't.
Yeah,
But it might help the guys that are still standing.
yeah.
But,
But it all
People
comes-
with money will be
It,
the
it
ones
all
that
comes
survive.
down. It all
Yeah.
comes down to the track people, because the people that own the tracks, we're making big time cash
Yeah, and
on
now
the
they're
slots, and
not.
now they're not making that extra cash. So
now the thing, and that's the way it's been working. A lot of places like Clinton, Hanover, places up north, they really love the racing, and they want to do it.
Yeah.
While other tracks like Windsor, they didn't want to race. They just want to collect their slot money. They shut down. Bang.
yeah,
Shut down.
Toronto did that too. They did it in
Well-
Toronto, I heard too.
Woodbine?
Well, Woodbine, yeah,
Yeah,
and that's the
part- the
thing.
harness
Like now
racing,
they
yeah.
just racing mostly at Mohawk.
Yeah.
And like Stevie says, they don't want to race the harness racing at Woodbine. So it's affected a lot of things, but like we said, I hope it can.
Like, yeah, it's like anything. Like you just, every industry will find a way if it wants to survive, right?
And the thing is, like I said earlier, and like we were talking about earlier, the racetracks have to rebrand themselves. Like I've mentioned to people at the Western Fair, guys that I know, like a friend of mine, Greg Blanchard, he's the general manager right now. I said they need to incorporate things like sports teletheaters. Like why wouldn't we have something like that? Where if the government did say this, okay, we're gonna take the slot machines, and this has been talked about, and we're gonna get places in your racetracks where there's sports betting, one game sports betting, like there is in Vegas.
That doesn't happen here?
Well, no, because
No,
Proline you have to bet
Proline.
2 games,
Yeah.
and the odds aren't very good. Because the thing is, like, if you say you could bet with a bookie,
Yeah.
you bet 100, you get 100. With the Proline, you bet 100, you have to bet 2 games, you get 100. Well, that's tougher than 1 game.
Yeah.
But maybe there, and then all of a sudden now in the racetracks get more of a bar type atmosphere with you can with a kind of a younger, hipper crowd maybe.
Serving wenches.
Yeah, serving wenches, and without that, like, who wants
Short
to go?
skirts.
Well,
go a long
make it
ways.
like an experience to go there.
Yeah.
then.
Yeah,
And be able to-
because it isn't an experience. Like
Well,
when
right
I bring
now,
my kids
it's-
there,
it's
like
clinical.
I'm always watching. Like when I brought them there, I'm always watching
Them.
this
Yeah.
around. Like it's just not. I couldn't say, Emmett, Alec, you guys wait there. I'm gonna go up around the corner there and I'll grab a couple burgers and stuff for you. Just wait there. I would never leave them alone.
Yeah.
But if it was somehow an atmosphere where you can go have a really nice
Yeah, but
dinner,
a lot of people do though, Steve.
I
You're
know,
different.
I know.
Like when
yeah.
I was a kid, my parents, like my
It
dad,
was a
my
different
dad,
time
my
then,
dad was
though.
driving,
Yeah.
so obviously I just went around and did my thing.
But it was a different time then, though. You know what I mean? Like things were different when we were younger. Like my parents.
I just find that a lot of like the experience of going to these places used to be like, you know, you think about the way it was and you're just like, yeah, you know, like that kind of sounds fun. You know, you go have a couple drinks, bet on a horse, see what happens. You do it for fun, you do it to try to make money, do it whatever, right? But now it's like, okay, let's go to the track and the slots and look at all like the really sad old people gamble their money winning
True.
the slots.
And that's
that
where-
really sketchy coked out guy there that might steal my kids, or
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like
gotta
they have to
attract it.
rebrand themselves, and they didn't do a very good job of switching marketing from generation to generation.
Yeah.
Like you say, the generation is half dying off. So now, when you lose all those guys, have you made any headway with another demographic or anything like that?
absolutely.
Like I'm gonna cite an example. I remember when I was young. One of the big horses, one of the famous horses, was Sagittarius.
Secretary.
Secretariat. Sagittarius. Secretariat.
I'm going to cite an example that's totally wrong.
So, but the thing is that let's be on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Yes.
That never happens now. They haven't branded the sport well to be able to
They haven't
have it
branded it as a
recognizable.
sport. They've branded it as a game.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not like they're not really letting
Now,
the
how they do that again is
press.
going to be very, very.
But
tough.
I mean, like I
But
think
they know how to do it.
one of the biggest problems though is that like it's going to be the harness racing industry has to deal with the government, like because there's gambling involved.
Yeah.
They have to, no matter
Yeah.
what. But
Now, hopefully, like, you know, and this is our only chance, that the government does better research and sees how many jobs are going to be cost, and
But they don't-
someone does the right thing.
does the harness racing industry, like when they deal with OLG or they deal with the government, do they deal with like a department that's based on like horse racing from them, or is it just like gambling
Before these
course.
decisions
Yeah.
were made, no.
before the original decisions?
No, there wasn't. No. There was just
OLG.
OLG.
Oh.
And then this Drummond report that was done, this guy that made that report that needed to fix for the budget, he just said, well, we'll just cut that 370. We'll keep that and give it to whatever.
You know, okay, so the
it's
one
not-
So
there
that
hasn't been a lot of
now
interaction
there is.
really. in
Now
terms
there
of-
is. Now there's a committee, it's called. I'm just trying to think of the committee's name. And it's all government people. Now, the other day, there was four
But is
from
there
this
people
committee.
from harness racing
No,
in that
no,
committee?
no, just the government. And these guys got paid this year $525. What the heck was it? It was something just crazy that these guys got paid to make these provisions. And this is after this. And the provisions were things that me and you right now, I could have said on this interview better than these guys who are complete dummies, have
Yeah.
no hands on nothing, don't know anything.
Well, they've been kicked
and
in
they've
the knee
made
by a
these
horse.
provisions and they got paid $525,000 apiece.
Yeah.
That was the thing, and that's coming out of the horse racing thing.
Yeah.
These guys needed to say what we all knew.
So wait, you guys are paying them out of your portion?
Well, I don't know how it works, to tell you the honest on that part of it, but I do know it's complete bullshit. You know what I mean?
So
Like,
it's people
I
that
could've
don't
just
know
said-
anything about the industry and haven't
There's
been
a guy
involved
like
in it is telling you how to run it.
Snoblin, and there's one, and there was a quote one time. I think of the other guy's name. He was head of the Agricultural Society. Now you think horse racing is a pretty big thing in agriculture, because people are
Oh, yeah.
growing hay. The feed mills who are selling us all our feed at $13 a bag. Agriculture.
Building the barns.
Yeah, agriculture.
Chains.
He said this. He goes, "There's no sense of having races when there's only 4 horses in a race and 2 of the top 2 get money." And the guy, he wasn't even close. There's 8 horses in a race. The first 5 get money. The guy'd never seen a horse race in his life,
Yeah.
and he's
And
making the provisions and getting $500,000 a year. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Like I know that there's like, okay, just for the sake of having whole numbers, we'll say that the industry brings in $100.
Right.
Okay. And so 80% of that goes to the government, and
Yeah.
20% will stay with the horse racers. So
No, no,
$8
10% goes to the no.
Oh,
hun-
the government will get 75% of it,
Right.
and 25% of it will stay with the horse
No,
industry.
5% goes to the city. City of London, Ontario, the city of Dresden, Ontario, the city of Sarnia, Ontario.
Okay.
5%. And that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
The 20% from all the racetracks in Ontario was 348 million.
Right.
Now that money was just put into our purse pools,
Right.
right? So instead of racing for 3,200, we were racing for 6,000. They've cut it in half.
Right.
So it's through the purse money that essentially the industry pays itself
'cause
completely,
say
like
for
100% almost.
Really? Yeah. Because the thing is like, for example, the
And the majority of
you
that
get
is
you
slot
get
driven, right?
if, for example, a horse. Each horse costs at least almost 1,000 to keep a month. For example, the guy who runs this place, we pay him 120 a month for a stall. The blacksmith shoes them once a month. That's $100 to him. So now he's getting paid. Now this guy who owns this place is getting paid. Then you got to feed them, which is probably $200 a month from the feed mill. Then you got to buy hay for them. Then you got to buy shavings from the shavings guy. Then you got to pay people to work, like the guy that works here, little Joey. You pay him. So now all this economic thing, you got to pay your gas to get here and drive the horses to the thing. You have to pay your money to the horse trailer guy, who you're paying $100, who I bought a horse trailer from.
Yeah,
Or the pickup
you got to
truck
get the
guy.
trailer.
Yeah. So now all of a sudden the pickup truck guy's making money. The trailer sales is making money. So all those industries are surviving. Now, if they can't figure all that stuff out, that this is helping the economy move through, they're not looking into it very hard, or they're worried about getting their paycheck.
So it just basically comes down
And
to
the
they
thing
don't
is,
care.
here's the
They just
thing, and
want
the next
money.
thing is, a lot of people who have these jobs are very passionate about their jobs, and they're very happy with their lifestyle. The government, to me, should almost promote that, shouldn't they? People
Happy
owning,
Should they
their
promote
own,
people being happy?
yeah, owning their own business and following their own dreams.
absolutely.
That ain't something a country would want. You know what I mean? Or do they all want them like working
Yeah.
for the government like they do in Greece?
Like-
you know what I mean? So like these are the things the government has to think about when
And
they're making the
move to ruin something like if you guys can't find another way,
Yeah.
is it the right thing to do to ruin an industry that brings so much happiness to people's lives?
And the horses,
Or
you know, that these horses
Taking,
are, you know,
yeah,
like,
taking the slot machines, putting them in a bingo hall where people go to play bingo.
yeah, it's not a living animal; it's a machine.
And how many people
are
support
employed? Yeah.
how much people, like, you know, the marker makers, the paper
Yeah.
makers.
Yeah.
That's it. But
Yeah.
this is just such a, you know, this.
Well, it's not that you shouldn't put them in the bingo halls. It's just that, like, why can't you have them in both?
Well, yeah, the market gets watered down. I think, you know.
Well, then you know you have regions or something, so you can't
Yeah.
put a gambling facility anywhere around this area and then this because there's one here for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think so. There's a lot of unanswered questions, and they keep saying we're going to announce something. And for the people that breed the horses, like I visited a breeding farm a month ago, and this is one of the horses we got from the breeding farm. The guy's name.
The guy that bit him.
Yeah, he has a farm, a gorgeous farm. He has all the horses for like I was trying to think how you'd explain it, but to make a horse pregnant, it costs as a stud fee. It's called.
Yeah.
It costs $10,000, right? So for this horse here, this Cam Luck horse, his whatever the impregnated horse is $10,000. So now he's doing this. He's keeping the mare all around at his farm all season, feeding her. He's got 10 people working for him. Now all of a sudden, this horse only brought $8,000. So with the stud fee for $10,000, all the money he put into the mare, he's probably got about $18,000 into it. So now he just sold it for $9,000.
And that doesn't even break
He lost
even.
100% profit.
Yeah.
So right now he was saying the bank's thinking of taking his farm. People he works for, he has to fire. He's going to shut down. And those are the kind of industries. There's another industry, the breeding industry, that's going to shut down. So these are the things that are happening, and those are the jobs that are being lost. Off the top of my head, even like you go.
I know. You're just
Yeah.
rhyming this. Yeah.
So, anyways, buddy, we good?
I don't know. Show us your favorite horse.
Oh, he's gonna eat though. You have to come over here and get a thing of him.
Big guy.
He's
Hey,
big,
Chucky, can you
he's
hold
big and black, Stevie.
Yeah, big and black, eh?
Yeah. Just like. Oh, see, he's scared.
Oh.
Can't. He's very head shy. He's a good guy. He's just a little head shy. He's a lovable horse, this guy.
Yeah.
He's the one that's made me all the money. So you tend to love those ones a lot more, Stevie. But this little guy here. Whoa, buddy. Yeah, you like that? Yeah, you're getting filmed.
Oh, what's his name?
Timel Colossus.
Yeah.
And this year he's made $40,000, and I'm thinking about 12 starts. Maybe 15 starts. He's had an injury. He's off for an injury right now, but he's gonna make another go of it. This little horse here, he's a funny little horse. He's short and chubby, but he's really fast, and he's got a really nice personality. This guy. Yeah, buddy, it scares you a little bit, doesn't it? He likes eating. He just eats away.
Eats and runs.
Yeah. But he's a funny horse. You can just like pretty much hop right up on his back. He won't care. He likes wrestling with you, and he likes doing stuff like that, don't you, buddy? And like this one here actually. This is the baby we had from St. Lad's Farms. And this horse here, I think, has the most ability of any of the young ones we've got. He shows a lot of promise and like easy athletic ability, like an easy swing.
Yeah.
That's what he's got. See, a lot of them are nervous to things. For some reason, if you could get anything up, you put your hands up, it's not going to scare them that bad. But you can tell they kind of
Get a little nervous.
They don't like
It's
things
a strange.
bigger than them. And I'm just trying to think. This one here, actually, we bought her at the sale for $2,500. This wasn't like a plan going in, you know what I mean, Stevie? We just we seen her, and me and my dad, we were looking at this one actually, the one I told you about with the brother, and we seen her. My dad goes, man, I like that little horse. So we were in the bidding auctions like thing, and I was talking, he was talking, and I kind of seen her go up, and I heard 2,500, 2,500. Anybody need 2,500? And I go, Dad, 20. All right, and we bid 2,500, and we got her. They come over and give you the sheet. You got to sign the sheet. So after, but then this one here is the one we kind of went to get, and we ended up coming home with him. We paid $7,500 for him.
Yeah.
And this horse,
He's 1 year old.
I think
right?
buddy. I think this horse has got a lot of intelligence to him.
Yeah.
He's the type of horse, he looks after himself real well. I don't think he's a horse who'll get himself injured.
What's his name?
Pocket. So we're hoping he does all right, and that's the stable right there, Stevie.
Thanks, buddy.
There's actually a new sale coming up on November 17th, and I'm looking to maybe add 1 or 2 young prospects, you know, and I want to hopefully start the youth movement. You know what I mean? I'm like the Blue Jays should be.
Yeah, my God, how was that for a disappointing year?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Brutal.